What is up, friends? Welcome back to Ozark Outdoor Brewing. Today we're doing a little bit of prep work before a brew day tomorrow. I'm ready to brew my first New England IPA. I'm so excited about this. I cannot wait. And what we do today is going to be the foundation for that. Come along, let's build a yeast starter. Talk, baby, work. Friends, this is going to be my first New England IPA. So to kind of set myself up for success, to have the best beer that I can, I'm going to create a yeast starter. And as you could probably tell from the title, we're going to be using a proper yeast starter from Omega Yeast Labs. Now, for those of you not familiar, this is essentially concentrated wort in a can. And it helps you build that yeast starter without using DME or boiling anything, chilling it down, any of that stuff. It's fairly simple and straightforward, and I'm going to show you how to build that today. So you will need a few things, of course, in order to do this, right? You're obviously going to need the yeast starter, the proper starter itself. You will, in addition, need your yeast. Today we're using WLP 095 Burlington Ale yeast from White Lab, so I'm really excited to try that. In addition, is this required? No. Does it help you? Yes. We're using a stir plate. This happens to be the Wort Whipper from Kegland, which I got all of this product here from. More Beer. No, I'm not sponsored. Yes, I would love to be. But you can find these at several places, maybe your local home brew store or various places online as well. That kit came with a 1-inch stir bar. Whoa. That I've got right here. I'm also going to be using a 2,000 milliliter or maybe just over a 2-liter Erlenmeyer flask. Some other things that are going to help you today. I have some aluminum foil to cover or cap that for my friends over the pond. Aluminum foil. I also have a rubber band, right, to make that seal. There's several different ways that you can do this, several other components that you can use. I've seen others use a foam stopper. I've seen people that do not recommend using a bung and a 3-piece airlock or anything like that. So watch this video. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, drop a comment down below and let me know what works for you or what you might change about my setup here. Some other things, of course, that you're going to need are some sanitizer. And just in case, I do have a funnel that I'm going to use, and I always have a spray bottle of Star San sitting around with me as well. Friends, let's get to cracking and start building our yeast starter. So start. Starter. Start, starter. First thing we're gonna do, obviously, is sanitize everything that we have, right? So already into my little tub of sanitizer here, I've got my aluminum foil, my rubber band, and the stir plate. This has already been sanitized, my Erlenmeyer flask on the inside. I also, like I said, I have this bottle of sanitizer as well. I'm gonna just one last time coat the inside of this with the sanitizer. Give that a good swirl, little bit of back and forth action there. Swirl it all around just to make sure it is fully and completely sanitized. There's a great thing about working down here in the garage. Of course, I don't want to drop that. Man, I almost did. That would have been a mess. So we have a sanitized flask there. I'm also going to sanitize the top of the starter, the proper starter. I'm going to use my funnel. And again, this has been sanitized as well, but one last time, I want to sanitize the fire out of this thing just to make sure there's no nasty, creepy crawlies in there. That goes down into the top of the Erlenmeyer flask. Now that I've got my proper wort starter, I can add that. Damn it, I spilled it everywhere anyway. But that goes down, should ensure that you get everything that you need, every last drop out of the bottle, can, as it were. Friends, this is a 16-ounce can. So the instructions call for you to use 16 more ounces of water. So the next step is a little bit up to you how you want to do it. You can boil 16 ounces of your tap water. If you have an RO system or distilled water, however you want to do it. I happen to have some distilled water. I've poured back to the top of this 16 ounces, right? It's all the way to the top of distilled water. So that goes right in on top of what I've just poured in. All right, so that takes care of everything there. Before I add my yeast, the next thing I'm going to do, I have my sanitized stir bar. I'm gonna drop that down in there just so we already have it in there and it doesn't interfere with me adding the yeast. Friends, one thing that I have read and want to make sure that you're aware of, this all does need to be at room temperature. So if you have your yeast in your refrigerator, make sure you pull it out a few hours early. Make sure you shake it up and that it is ready to go into a starter like this. So with my yeast, next step is to sanitize everything on the outside. I don't like to take any chances. Yeah, it's dripping everywhere, but I know it's sanitized. Also, dip your fingers in some of the sanitizer as well. Let's just get all sanitized up in here, right? Time to open this very carefully. And now time to pitch the yeast into your mixture. All right, yeast is in. We'll close and cap that back up. I've made an absolute mess here, so I'm just gonna take a minute and kind of wipe all of this up. Now that you have your yeast added to your starter, friends, we're gonna take our sanitized rubber band and aluminum, shake that off just a little bit. We wanna cover it, and then drop your rubber band over the top of it. Okay, if you need to double wrap it. Friends, then you just want to put this on top of your stir plate, turn it on, whatever your mechanism is. I would start off rather slowly at first, but you should start to see a vortex built, and that's going to oxygenate and help keep this yeast stirred and in suspension and create more cells for your yeast to create an active fermentation faster. I'm not a scientist and don't pretend to play one on TV. This is what I've read. You can go read plenty of blogs, forums, watch videos on this. There are people much smarter than me can give you more insight to how this works. But I'm going to kick this up just a little bit. I'm gonna leave this for 18 to 24 hours and that should be perfect and ready for tomorrow, brew day of my New England IPA. Stay tuned for that video. Friends, if you're not already, please consider subscribing. That always helps us out. And smash that bell so you get a notification every time we post a video here on Ozark Outdoor Brewing. And remember, drink responsibly.